Hello folks, welcome to day 838 of the Stream Day Challenge on my channel. Today we are streaming some GTA. I'm actually just looking at Steam now to see, because if I'm streaming by myself lately, I've started just streaming GTA, which is annoying. So I'm just looking through, like, what other things could I play by myself? Then that's what we're gonna start doing, I think. There's a few games. Maybe try and complete a game again. That's something we haven't really attempted in a while. That's not what I wanted to do. Great. That's incredibly annoying that I just resized that. Go to Humble Bundle and see when the next monthly is available. See what's on it. Wait. Holy shit. The early unlock of Humble Monthly has Kerbal Space Program. And there is a game I've wanted forever. That's Kerbal Space Program. Fuck. We're getting this early unlock. I don't even remember how to get an early unlock. Wait, what am I looking at here? Is this what? There's the pay early button. I think, yes, I must have got the April one. I just haven't unlocked everything yet. And it's got a few games in there like Outlast 2. I get 2 notifications about that payment. See what haven't I unlocked yet on the April one? Let's see what we've got. So I've got Mafia 3 already unlocked. There's Outlast 2, Lara Croft Go, Subterrane, AM Memories of Old, Laser League. Okay. And then in the May one, which I've just got the early unlock for, Kerbal Space Program, Dead Rising 4, Ruiner, and then of course there's some other stuff. No, I will not be gifting this to a friend. This one is very much going in my Steam. Kerbal Space Program. Come on down. Yeah, fuck yeah, install that shit. Sweet. I'm sure that'll be coming up on stream at some point. Go away. Who's in this session? Not many, we'll be fine. Hopefully. Maybe. Who knows? Probably not. Right, so does this need resupplying? I reckon it does. And I need to make sure Steam isn't about to fuck me over. Which it's already doing, so settings, thanks for that. Downloads, limit of 3 megabytes a second. Okay. Oh yeah, because this is just researching now, I know. Go away, Lester. I need to be a CEO or something. If we end up getting like shot or something, we'll just go to our own session, but at the moment I think we'll be fine. And we'll steal the supplies, obviously. Might be a tank or something. Something easy. I used to hate getting the tanks because it took forever to drive back.
The lab thinks there's some mileage in breaking down a technical pickup with a minigun on the back. There's a heist crew with the requisite. You've just got to get it off of them.
I thought we were getting a tank when he said breaking down. I really did. Fuck's sake. Oh well. need to set myself a reminder actually for later to, like when I get back from work, to look through my computer for a copy of the VentureCast server. Hopefully I've got a copy of it, because that'd be annoying if I don't. Whoa, shit.
Inbred morons! You piece of shit! I'm gonna kill you!
Got a man down!
Inbred moron!
Mendoza's been fucking hit! Friendly down!
Die!
You know, I hate stealing these. Where's this last? Oh, he's up there. Yeah, there's no protection while driving them. It's like guaranteed death. Especially when you get stuck on shit like that. So having to take a shortcut would have been quicker for me to go the way it was saying. Alright, let's go. Cut off a few miles, but I think it would have been quicker for me to just go the way it wanted me to. Go, Kerbal Space Program. So what, we might deliver this and go check it out. In fact, we're gonna. We're not going to try and build a rocket or anything, we'll go through like tutorials or something. But I guess then we will build a rocket, but I guess there's got to be tutorials, surely. Don't know. Oh wow, this supply's filled up a lot. So yeah, let's go check it out. Because like I said, we always play GTA by ourselves, so let's actually play something else. Let's try out Kerbal Space Program. A game I've wanted to try out for ages. We'll just wait for his phone call, so we know that it's definitely all gone through and saved. I imagine it will have anyway, but let's be safe. Although literally he's got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Up.
Well done. Now the...
Okay. Bear with me as I add this to the launchpad. I want everyone to know I'm playing this game. I shit you not, this is a game I've wanted for so long. I almost bought it the other month as well. what? Oh, there we go. Just trying to get the ID of the game. What the fuck's going on? Keep talking, nobody explodes. Kerbal Space Program. We're obviously going to be launching it in 64 bits. It's KSP_X64 by the looks of it. Double check that that's right. Hey, let's launch Kerbal Space Program. Very white. Oh, there we go. Move that where it should be, where I can always see it. As long as this isn't about to stream my CD key or something. Smash pack for Crystal Recon Association. Oh, okay. Terrain scatters. We'll turn that on. Normal is the highest, okay? I don't know what I'm doing, but you know, max everything. Oh, there we go. Do we need a frame limit? 180 then, I guess. Out from the screen every bloody time. So just as I turn that down. I'm going to do that every time, isn't it? Jesus Christ, okay. I'm going to unplug this controller so hopefully it just gives me keyboard controls. No, not revert. Oh well, I didn't do anything. Okay. Let me set Kerbal Space Program as my game. Of course I know nothing. I just realised that I didn't even touch streaming correctly. Let's update that. Mun or bust. Training, obviously. Getting started in basic construction. Oh, I have to read. I'm just closing a load of shit over there. Right. Welcome to today's lecture on vessel construction. I'm Werner von Herman. Whether you want to put a satellite into orbit, make a transcontinental flight, or step onto the very surface of the Mun, you're going to need to build yourself a ship. It'll be pretty easy, even if you're not a famous rock scientist like myself. In this tutorial, I'll first show you around the Kerbal Space Center, and take to vehicle assembly building where you'll learn how to construct a simple ship. We'll cover adding and removing parts, what the parts do, how to change the performance settings of the parts which have that option, and how to control staging. At the end of the tutorial, we'll have a craft fit for a quick hop from the launch pad. At each step, I will lock out all controls other than the ones you need for that step. If you still manage to mess up, it took even me some time to become as skilled as I am now, you can press the back button or go back to fix things. Okay. We're now at the Kerbal Space Center. I'll give you a quick rundown on how to get around. KSC for short is home to the pinnacle of Kerbal endeavor and achievements for space exploration. Using facilities you can see here, you'll be able to manage your space program. Fucking hell. Be able to manage your space program, create rockets, planes, track your Kerbal explorers as they roam the solar system, burn exciting new uses for explosive substances. Ooh. and in case of emergency, hire more Kerbals. To find out about each of the facilities, you can, however, mouse over them. Okay. Right. So you take some time to hover the mouse over the buildings and see what each of them are. When you're ready, enter the Vehicle Assembly Building, VAB. Development, National Complex, Administration, Spaceplane Hangar, Vehicle Assembly, Tracking Station, and the launch pad. So he wants us to go in there. Just click on it. Very good. What you see in the middle of this screen is the construction area. This is where parts are placed and your craft is constructed. On the left side of the screen is the parts toolbox. It will show you all the parts you have available in each of the different categories. Once there are any to pick, that is. If you want your craft to be controllable, you need a command module, and it's best to make it the first part you place. This part will either contain some plucky Kerbal crew or an automated pilot mechanism. As we're just starting, there's only one choice. Go ahead and pick that command module from the pods tab. After at least one part is placed, you can look around with the following controls. Arrow keys on right mouse, drag. Move the camera up or down, scroll wheel. Oh, that's weird. Zoom the camera, shift plus scroll wheel. Okay. If you'd like your pilot to be able to make more than one flight, he or she will have to return safely to the ground or water on Kerbin. Parachutes are a simple way to make that happen. Make sure that happens. They can be found in the Utility tab. Change tabs by clicking the icons to the left part. When you choose the parts, view details, go ahead and select the Mark 16 parachute. It's part of the what? The Utility tab. Where's the Utility tab? Right at the fucking bottom. Oh, yeah. Boom. Some parts like parachutes here. The configurable options. To see these, we need to right click on the parachute which is attached to the pod. Do that now and you'll see the available parameters. What was it? I need to right click on the parachute. Okay. Check the opening height on the chute is at least 1,000 meters. It is. Because safety is the Kerbal way after all. For the minimum pressure slider, move it a bit to the right to 0.2. This setting prevents the chute from activating to the atmospheric pressure. It's above the configured value. On Kerbin 0.2 is about 9 kilometers in altitude. So even if you stage early and arm the parachute, it will wait until then to activate. Next up, we're going to need something to make us go. Ooh, like rockets. Click on the Engines tab and show available edges of solid rocket motors. Okay. Oops, I forgot you're just starting out. You're not a famous rocket scientist. To make the craft as viable as it stands now, you'd have... What? I think I've read that wrong. Start again. Oops, I forgot you're just starting out. You're not a famous rocket scientist, and to make that craft survivable as it stands now, you'd have to be better at rocket science than me. Ha! Impossible. The problem with that craft is that this solid rocket is too powerful for the payload. A single small pod and chute will either burn up on ascent from going too fast or burn up coming back down. Even if you survive that, the craft's mass will cause it to fall too fast for the chute to operate properly and you'd hit the surface before it could stop you. Okay, I promise to teach you how to change that to make it work in a later tutorial, but for now, let's continue. But at least this way I'll get to tell you about removing parts. Pick up the BACC thumper and either drop it back to the parts tool. Press delete. Sweet. Instead, let's add the solid motor that's a better match for the ship of this size. The Flea. At the start of your crew, you'll have what I consider rubbish parts. Literally, the motor here looks like and may well be a converted trash can. Nice one, you built the simplest survivable craft possible. We could go launch this right now, but it might be safe to explain one thing first. In the bottom right, you'll see the staging stack. Yes. It's the box with the number 0 and the icons for the parachute engine. The stack shows us, fuck's sake, which parts will be activated as we stage our rocket. What it shows is that when we activate the next stage, both the engine and the parachute will be triggered. While it could be considered funny to open the chute and fire the motor at the same time, it's not going to give you much of a flight. To fix this, we need to separate the stages and shoot into 2 stages. If you mouse over the 0 stage, see a little plus appear. And then, no, just drag them around, I guess. Excellent, it's important to note that the stages activate from the highest number and then count down. So our first stage will be stage 1. Wow, fuck's sake. Now drag the engine icon from stage 0 down to stage 1 to give our pilot some comfort. That's it, we now have a safe, well, relatively safe craft that's ready to go. Let's make sure that if we need this design again, we don't have to build it all from scratch. At the top of the screen you will see the name for our craft. Untitled spacecraft doesn't seem too majestic. Why don't you change that to something more your style, and you can add a description if you'd like. Oh, I need to click save. We lost when you exit, it's just playing around. Okay. What do these things do? Fuck. Could I go take it to fly? I want to try and fly it. Oh, it's locked out of the launch button. Wait, fuck. Oh, okay, I guess. Oh, that's annoying. Basic flight. There's a lot of tutorials. Welcome to the Kerbal Space Center launch facility. I'm Gene Kerman, and I will teach you the basics of piloting a spacecraft. I trust you've already checked the basic construction tutorial. If not, I recommend you do so before going through this one. Today we will do a run through all of the important controls. Okay, for spacecraft, a little hopper from your basic construction lesson with Werner. May not have all of them, but we'll do a full run through once and see how it flies. Flying a spacecraft is all about being in control of a generally very chaotic situation. As a pilot, your main flight controls will affect the pitch, yaw, and roll of the ship. Let's look at these first. Oh, look at those first. All controls will be blocked. Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. Q and E to roll. Left and right, up, down. Yeah. Throttle plus pitch, yaw, and roll are the main controls you need to master for successful crash-free flight. We'll skip over the throttle control for now, as this vessel has no need for it. Don't worry, I'll explain it another time when it's of use. Remember that all of these controls have a limited amount of effectiveness, so bigger, heavier ships will probably respond much more sluggishly to the controls than a little small one. It's also good to keep in mind that as stages are separated from the ship, it will become lighter, and this will usually mean easier to control. Now let's look at the rest of the flight controls. The space to launch and activate next stage. Okay. Important part of flying is knowing how your ship is oriented. Fuck's sake. At the top part of the screen you have your altimeter, vertical speed indicator, and atmosphere gauges. Vertical speed, fuck's sake, don't tell me all about that stuff. One last thing before we give you this rocket the green light. In the staging stat, you can see the indicator for your parachute. This indicator shows you when the chute will be activated by staging. You already know that, but the background will also change colour to indicate when it is safe to stage the parachute. And the foreground, the parachute bit of the icon itself, will change colour depending on the parachute stage. Note, however, that by default parachutes are not deployed when unsafe, even if you stage them. The left 3 shows safety, safe, risky, and unsafe. Okay. Deploy, the chute is unstaged white in the left 3. The right 3 shows state after staging arm deployed, and cut/shredded. Okay. Okay, enough talk. I'll unlock the flight controls and you'll be clear for launch. At any time you may press escape to pause the game. In the pause menu you can restart the flight or end this tutorial. Choose end scenario and return to the main menu. For now, get yourself prepared and hit space when ready to launch. Don't forget our hopper has only a solid rocket motor, so there is no throttle control. That's why we didn't review the throttle here. Make sure to fly in a nice arc and enjoy the flight. Whoa. I was just about to say, I really hope that parachute actually deploys. Takes a while to descend, doesn't it? 6.5 meters a second. I'm gonna go get a drink. I suppose if I was on that ship, I would want it to be descending slowly so I don't die, but still. Oh look, there's the ground. Well done. As far as your first quick flight, When you're landed or splashed on curbing and not in training, you can point the mouse just above the altimeter and click the recover button on the panel that slides down to ask to be picked up. Also unlock the crew hatch, so if you feel like going out for a walk or swim, you can click the EVA extravehicular activity button that will pop up when you mouse over the portrait of the Kerbal. Ooh, yes. You can do it just for fun or to collect a surface sample. Let's walk around. Can we plant a flag? Yes! Site name. First landing. Black text. On this site was the first landing of the first Kerbal ship. Trash can. Oh. Boom. Go on then, take a surface sample as well. It's very muddy and sandy. There might be a body of water nearby. Ooh. There is. We know there is. Oh, just fall over, why don't you? Right, next. Does he just stay laid down? I guess we just click end scenario. That takes us to the next one. Or will allow me to go to the next one. Intermediate construction. Hello again, I'm glad you could come back. To get started, go ahead and enter the VAB and I'll give you an overview of what we're building today. Okay, now to business. If you remember in our last tutorial, yes, the hopper, I call it the trash can. This tutorial will expand your knowledge of some more useful features. Okay. Let's get out the atmosphere. Sweet. Building a new design, let's start with the craft we built in the basic treasure tutorial, though this one is called the hopper. This will save us a little bit of time. With the open button in the top right. Like last time, we won't be bringing the whole vessel back, so we can change our chute's stats from what we used before. Right click on the parachute. Go to 1000 last time, 0.75. Okay. Change the name of our craft in the description if you want. Simply change the name, something hopper. Okay, science equipment. Push the science tab to look at it. There's one most basic. First science tab, I'm guessing that. Scientific experiments Kerbal scientists have devised, and one of the first things they want to try and understand better. I mean, they don't even know what colour the goo is. So do I just attach it to the side? I was just meant to look at it, was I? I've looked at it. We attach only to one of these during a flight, I suppose. So these buttons control symmetry, angle snap can be found in the lower left of the screen. Press the symmetry button or press the X key to cycle through the available symmetry modes. I don't know if we want that many, just 2 will do. Yeah. The mystery goo container. If we had too many more parts here, the craft we're making will be too heavy to survive re-entry safely. So we need to add a decoupler below the pod. Decouplers can be used in many ways, but for now let's just add one to the bottom of the pod. Go to the coupling tab. Boom. Note the stack decouplers of our arrows. The arrow show which side is the decouples. Make sure your decouples arrows are pointing up towards the pod. Yes. It will be by default. Well done, you recall, I hope, that in the previous story, yes. When you add a decoupler to the extra stage, it's automatically added to the stacks. Okay. This time we're going to use liquid propellant rocket engine, unlike other engines that carry their propellants with them, so we just need to add some fuel tanks. Go to the fuel tanks tab. We're going to need 5 of these tanks to get us to space. Before you grab 5 tanks from the parts toolbox though, let me give you another tip, because efficiency is my middle name. It goes right after Von. Once you place the first tank on the rocket, you can duplicate that by holding the left Alt key, clicking on the tank. You can do this on the bottom of the tank a few times to quickly get these 5 attached. Oh, okay. The left Alt key. 3, 4, 5. Oh, what the fuck have I done? Wait, what? The fuck is going on? Right, we've got 5, that's all I know. Good, switch to the engines tab now. The swivel engine here is obviously different from the flea we used before. This is a liquid engine, it needs and burns both liquid fuel and oxidizer. Funnily enough, that's what we just added to the rocket. Oh, that's pods, we want engine. Actually swivel to the bottom of the rocket, stack now and keep an eye on the staging so I can see how it changes. Rocket, stage, parachute, yeah. We're almost there and you're doing fine, maybe not as speedily as someone of my caliber though. Phew. The last thing we're going to need to do is give this rocket a little better stability so it keeps going the way we want it to go. We'll achieve this by adding some fins at the bottom of the rocket. Fins can be found in the aerodynamics tab. Set the symmetry mode to 4x, so we'll place them on both axes. Also turn on angle snap. 4 and angle snap, and 1 the aerodynamics. So I can get it just looking. That one. Excellent, we've now got a rocket that will let us reach the stars. Admittedly, I did say reach 4. This is a basic rocket, we can't achieve orbit. On the bright side, that means re-entry will also be basic. You've done a great job in building a basic hopper and a sub-orbit capable rocket. Hopefully you've learned a few things about how to build a craft, how to use some of the shortcuts that are in here. Feel free to hang around for a bit. I want to go fly this thing. Suborbital flight. Yes, let's go. Let's do this. Hello gang, glad you can make it back. Today we'll have an exciting step, getting our first Kerbal into space. Yep, with a capital S. Hopefully you remember the controls we discussed in the basic flight tutorial, but don't forget that you can always press escape and click the view key bindings button for a reminder. If you're ready, let's get started. Your mission today is to make a short suborbital, less than orbital, flight out of the water to the east. It's a nice arcing path that ensures a gentle, survivable re-entry. Straight up and straight down is not so good for survival. I've set up the pink target indicator on the nav ball as aim point, but do note that this is not the case for normal missions. The target marker is normally used for other things and does not help with ascents. Starting with the nose pointing straight up on the launch pad on 90 degrees elevation from the eastern horizon. Okay. Left shift to throttle up, left control to throttle down, Z maximum throttle, X throttle cut off. I like the idea of throttling up and down myself. But we'll press Z. SAS stands for Stability Augmentation Systems, although Kerbal Space astronauts usually refer to it as Cygnus Avoidance Scheme. Whatever it stands for, what it does is try to stop the ship from spinning around using the computer-controlled auto-torque drive compensator technology to counteract the rotation of the ship, simplest mode. SES can be activated or deactivated if on momentarily by holding down the F key, and it can be toggled by pressing the T key. SAS on, please. If you have problems following the maneuvers, once you enable SAS and lift off, you can click the small red button to the left of the nav ball that has a miniature target indicator. Go left of all the buttons. This will cause the SAS to follow the target indicator and fly for you. Note, this autopiloting function will not be available until you are flying. Craft has a bit too much engine, so we're going to throttle down for launch. Set your throttle to 2/3. In this lesson, some of the information is quite detailed and can take a while to read. This is a short suborbital hop. I don't want you to miss anything important. I'll place a warning at the top pages where you might want to pause the game to read. The warning will look like this. Warning, detailed info, press escape to pause if necessary. Okay, enough talk. I'll unlock the rest of the flight controls and you'll be cleared to launch. At any time you may press escape. Yeah, yes. Boom. Good, and let's turn a little more. Hold the course and we'll reach stage burnout safely. Work succeeded. Great work, you've succeeded in getting your ship on a trajectory bound for space. I've now set your target interior to align with your velocity vector. I'll minimize drag by turning the smallest side of the vehicle into the airflow somewhere around here. You'll see that F-ball speed indicator also switch from surface to orbit, accompanied by the speed number jumping. Go ahead and switch back to surface mode by clicking on it until it says surface again. You might have noticed some flickering flames near the end of your burnout there, which is due to the high speed of your craft in the atmosphere. Normally our ascent would be a little slower, but I'm sure my friend Werner has helped you build a ship that can withstand this heat. And besides, this high and this slow, you'll be fine. If you want to have a look at your trajectory, you can switch to the map, okay? Facing our way to Apoapsis, that's the highest point on our current projected path. We've got a little time to chat. Once you clear the atmosphere, we'll go over what we can do in space. Well then, here we are, just going up. While we float up here beyond the atmosphere, I'll quickly tell you about a couple of things you can do with an advanced complex train cables, space warp, though we won't be able to let us fly it. Looks like a goo performing experiments. Feel free to play the goo canisters right now by right clicking on them. I'll let you know when it's time for the next phase of our suborbital flight. Well, I should be following this, shouldn't I? Do want to have a look at the M key though. Oh yeah, look at that. We're on our way back down now though. As we're near the edge of the atmosphere again, it's time to reorient the pod to get ready for re-entry. We're only going to re-enter with the pod and shoot goo canisters, but we're not going to decouple yet. In real missions, it's best to keep your upper stage around until the last moment. You never know when you might need it. Anyway, it's best to re-enter bottom first, and since we ascended about 7 degrees pitch, we'll naturally re-enter about minus 70 degrees pitch. That means you want to aim for the top of the couch, and aim the top of the couch for 7 degrees pitch line. Okay. Nice. Now hold steady on your new attitude, let SES do its job, and get ready to decouple the stage and start re-entry. Since it's just weighing us down, stage should discard the unneeded parts en masse. You're now re-entering Kerman's atmosphere. Make sure to keep all hands and feet inside the pod at all times. We don't want you getting burnt or anything. Don't mind the flames. Burner is a world-famous rocket scientist after all, and he's built this ship to withstand them. Last time we watched the pressure, I can't wait for the right time to open the chute. This time we're going to do something a little different. Remember, in the construction tutorial design this vessel, you set the chute to not semi-deploy until 0.75 of pressure. That's because the chute won't perform first of its 2 deployment steps until then, even if you activate it by staging now. So let's take the bold step of arming the chute now and let the smarts in there pop it at the right altitude. You know you can trust me. Stage the chute now by pressing space. Shit. So right click on the shoot now and check their sliders. Don't touch the pressure slider. Yeah. Bottom of the couch, let's note the heat shield. That you do not have a heat shield. You don't need one because it's such a gentle flight. Heat shield would make things more dangerous on this craft because the additional mass would be pushing the limits of this model of the chute. Yes, the chute is away. Now enjoy a leisurely float down to the surface. Line going on there. So this should be 0 meters, right? As we're actually hitting the water, so at sea level. Welcome back and congratulations on completing and even surviving your first real mission. You managed to launch, control your vessel into space, orient yourself correctly, and land safely. That's quite an achievement. If you want to practice this again, choose to revert to launch from the pause menu. Otherwise, end the scenario. Be sure to check out other tutorials. My next one is about going for orbit. It's really exciting. There's always lots more to learn at the KSC. Recover the vessel. Right. That actually ended at like the perfect time, didn't it? Yeah, I want to end the scenario. I'm sure we'll be checking out more of this at some point. Being a game I've wanted for forever, we will definitely be checking that out more at some point. But I must get ready for work. So I shall end it here for today. I'll be back tomorrow around 2 PM. I think me and Shoot are doing Fortnite, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'll let you know tomorrow, most likely. But yes, I shall end here for today. So a massive thank you to those who joined me today. But if you are new to the channel and haven't already, don't forget to follow the channel, follow Twitter, subscribe to YouTube, all that fun stuff. Links are below the channel. You can of course subscribe to the channel if you wish to do so. If you've Amazon Prime, get Twitch Prime. If you've got Twitch Prime, you can subscribe for free. Also if you wish to do so. But as I said, I will be back tomorrow at 2 PM BST for day 839 of the Streamer Day Challenge. I do hope to see you tomorrow.
The fire makes the city look so bright. Close your eyes and just stay tight. We have to go. Stay with me while we leave. Don't worry, just believe me. This journey will stay with me while we